And so if you have your phones with you, please go to menti.com, MENTI.com, and then the code is at the top of your screen. And I want you to answer this question: which benefit of AI in education excites you the most? Which benefit of AI in education excites you the most? Menti.com, and that's the code. Personalized learning experiences, efficient grading and feedback, real-time student progress tracking, creating engaging educational content, or improved classroom management. What do you think? Personalized learning, efficient grading and feedback, real-time student progress tracking, creating engaging educational content, or improved classroom management. We're going to take about 20 more seconds. All right, thank you for participating. So we see that we had 44% creating engaging educational content and 36% personalized learning experiences. All right, thank you. Now we'll go to our main slide. So the topic for today, Teaching Tomorrow, why AI is the ultimate assistive technology. So our charter school, we serve students with disabilities from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. And last year when I presented this, this slide, I wanted to talk about special education and integrating AI. This year, what I want to do is show you how Language and Literacy Academy for Learning uses AI in the classroom. Next slide, please. Before I begin, I would like to start with these two quotes. Artificial intelligence will not replace teachers, but teachers who use AI will replace those who don't. Assistive technology is not about what students can't do, it's about giving them new ways to do it. How many of you agree with that? All right, next slide, please. The objectives for today's speech, scholar presentation is what we use in the classroom. We're going to do an overview of that. We're going to look at exergaming, which we use for our therapy outcomes. We're going to look at AI-enhanced sensory rooms, and we're going to talk about the future and takeaways. Next slide. So Scholar Education. Scholar Education is an AI platform that Language and Literacy we partnered with. I want to go over how Scholar Education has impacted our charter school. Now, again, we serve students with disabilities from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. Next slide, please. So what is special about Scholar Education? We have Professor Bruce, who is the AI teacher assistant, and then we also have BaxterBot, which is the student AI assistant. And what Professor Bruce does, he helps plan lessons, gives instant data insights, and track accommodations with ease. Teachers love Professor Bruce because we're able to turn paper into digital data, suggest grouping and strategies, and keep everything organized in one place. Now, BaxterBot is for the students. He's the AI assistant, and he answers questions for the students. He offers hints instead of answers and gives personalized support in the class and at home. What students love about Baxter is that he explains concepts in different ways, encourages critical thinking, and is available anytime they need help. Now, these are real puppies, and once we schedule and make the arrangements, Professor and BaxterBot, they also visit the school and kind of assist with the teaching and learning in real life. Next slide.
Want to launch lessons that engage every student instantly? Scholar makes it simple.
This is a small
With a few
video
clicks,
that shows
launch your lesson
you how
and see
it
student
works from the
responses in
teacher's
real time.
perspective.
Easily lock or unlock activities as you go so you control the pace of learning. Need extra support? That's where BaxterBot comes in. BaxterBot is Scholar's student assistant. He gives personalized help based on each student's academic reading level and can respond in 179 languages. For example, in our math and science lesson, one student can ask BaxterBot to explain the difference between a line graph and a scatter plot at their reading level, while another gets the same support in Spanish, all without slowing down your teaching. Students even have access to an accommodations toolbox where they can use supports based on their IEP or 504 plan. With Scholar, you can keep the whole class learning together while giving every student the individual support they need.
Next slide. Now we're going to look at what it looks like from
Wish you had more
student's
time to reflect
perspective.
and grow as a teacher? With Scholar, you can. With every lesson, Scholar makes it easy under Data Insights to review BaxterBot conversation themes, view accommodations used, and capture assessment data. Looking at our math and science lesson, for example, you might have Professor Bruce generate a quick summary you can share at your next PLC. And even notice that comprehension questions about graphs were the biggest challenge for your students. Professor Bruce can even help with providing feedback for student responses. With Scholar, reflection isn't another task. It's an easy part of teaching with actionable next steps.
Now that is how we use AI in the classroom to improve academic scores. Now I want to show you how language and literacy uses exergaming as part of our therapy goals. This is where fitness meets fun. Next slide, please. So what is exergaming? Exergaming uses fitness, gamification, and technology. Next slide. Next slide, please. So one of the things that I want to point out is when students are sitting, we can see where the brain scans are. When they have a 20-minute walk, you can see all the activity that's going on in the brain. The bottom shows the brain scans when they're with interactive games. So when they have passive exposure, you can see just minimal activity. But then when they are involved with gaming, you can also see where the interactive play, where the brain is, you see more action in the brain.
He's gonna kick your butt if you did.
So this is actually our board members when we first opened up and started our exergaming gym. So the kids, because of privacy, we allowed the board members, they're showing us what to do. This is an example of an eye-wall game where they're working on coordination, they're working on balance, without even thinking about it.
Don't be afraid to hit it. You can hit it, it's not gonna break. It's German made.
It's tough. Tough and long.
Yep. Hand-eye coordination. It's great for hand-eye coordination.
This is a picture of a couple of different games that we have where the students are actually using the extra gaming during therapy. So we have physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Here's an example of a couple of the students where they're competing with one another. They're exercising, but they're not even thinking about it. They're just trying to win the game. And here's another game that we installed where they're using their balance, they're using their body to turn and win the game. And this is called eye dance. So the student is using the arrows and following the screen, trying to win. So exercise is fun and it's engaging without them even thinking about it. And one of the most important things is all of this is data. We're able to retrieve the data. So we're able to see how they're able to progress over time, which is wonderful when it comes to IEPs and 504s, or anytime you're working on MTSS, multi-tiered systems of support. He was really into this game. So what are some of the outcomes for extra gaming? Increased engagement, increased time on task, increased confidence. You also have increased support, balance, bilateral coordination, and increased attention. And then you also are able to pull objective data. So we've talked about what we use AI for in the classroom with Scholar Education. We use extra gaming for our therapy goals. Now we use our sensory room to assist us with behaviors. We are certified in professional crisis management and UCURO, which are techniques that we use to restrain the students. Well, we don't want to restrain the students every time they have a fit, every time they're agitated. So we try to use the sensory room to reduce behaviors in the classroom. And that was actually an actual picture of our sensory gym in our building. So we use the sensory rooms to support students with various needs, including those with autism, sensory processing disorders, ADHD, emotional and behavior disorders. It's a sanctuary for students who are overwhelmed or experiencing sensory overload from the classroom environment, which can be noisy or chaotic. The rooms are calming. They have a calming atmosphere, which helps students manage stress, reduce anxiety, and regain emotional control before returning to the class. Conversely, for students who are understimulated or sensory seeking, the room provides a controlled source of engaging input to help them reach optimal state of alertness. They're in the right zone for learning. And this is another picture, another video of another sensory room. We actually have two on our campus. We have one for the Early Childhood Center, which includes our pre-K and kindergartner kids. And then this is our second sensory room that we installed that's for the older kids. So outcomes for the sensory room: mental, behavioral, and social growth. AI-assisted sensory rooms build focus, confidence, and community. Improved focus and readiness for learning. Reduced dysregulation, smoother transitions, and stronger social participation. So the data flow and monitoring. Again, we use Scholar Education to assist us for fluency and comprehension. For therapy, we use our Extra Gaming Gym, and we identify trends. What's most important for any of us who, for the teachers in here, we use this information to adjust our instruction. And what's so unique about this is it's real time and we get immediate feedback. So we're able to adjust the therapy goals as well. And most importantly, it's evidence for your IEPs, for your 504 plans, or anytime you're collecting data for MTSS. So if this is something you would like to do, one of the things that we had to start with champions. So we have leaders in our community that are taking the lead in Scholar Education, and we're teaching, and we have times and schedules where they're actually mentoring other teachers in our classrooms. And then we have leaders in their Extra Gaming Gym, and then we also have leaders that go in for the sensory room. One of the things that we did we didn't think about or didn't even know existed was when we first opened up our sensory room, the teachers thought it was just a go for all. Like they wanted to send every student that was having issues in the classroom, they just wanted to take them and send them into the sensory room. Well, that's not how it has to operate. You have to actually train the teachers. There's certain times the students need to go into the sensory room, and there's times when they're not. So that was one of the things that we are continually working on and strategizing with the teachers, that you just don't throw the kids in the sensory room and just magically wait for them to calm down. That's not what happens. So we're going through the process of making sure that everyone understands how to use the sensory room properly. Once you've developed your champions and your building, then you have a lot of the coaching. So it takes time when you have all of these modalities. You have your Scholar Education, your AI platform that goes on in the classroom for your academics, and then you need your champion for your Extra Gaming Gym. Again, it's not just for the kids just to jump on the exercise bike or to start using the iDance machine or the iWall. All of that, everything is as good as the input. So you have to put the data entry in the inside, and you actually have to set the goals. So once you're able to do that, then you can strategically put the kids on each of the equipment and, and adjust the modalities to what's good for your IEP or your 504. And then you're able to collect that data and identify trends. So you start out with your champions, then you have your ongoing coaches, and then what we like to do is have short practice sprints. We even use our staff to show how to use it and what not to do with it, okay? We celebrate quick wins, and then we share templates and exemplars. Something that's really unique about our situation at our school is once we've started posting and once we started marketing all of our AI tools that we're using, we've had other schools to come and tour our facility. They want to know, well, how are you using it, and what are we what is the data behind it? So that is where we're going to follow up next year. So I would like to go through each of our modalities, go through Scholar, look at our academics, see how the platform is improving our scores. The same thing with the extra gaming gym. We're going to do that with our therapy goals, and then we're going to collect data for our behavior interventions to see if all of these AI assisted tools are actually making a difference with our students. So some of the key takeaways. AI augments educators and therapists. Scholar education personalizes academics. Exergame fitness energizes therapy. Sensory AI supports regulation. Integrated data is inclusive, and it all works and assists and helps develop the whole child. So as I close, I would like to begin with this quote. The best assistive technology is invisible. It just empowers. Rather than replacing humans, artificial intelligence should be viewed as an assistive technology that enhances human capabilities and productivity. And so at this time, we're going to have one more activity. What word best describes your feedback from this presentation? So you're going to go back in menti.com, and you're going to use the same code, and we're going to have a word cloud. So as you can see, as we're using this information, the feedback is immediate. And you're able to use this same philosophy when we're using our sensory integration, our extra gaming gym, and our Scholar Education, our AI platform. So I would like to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to showcase what we do at Language and Literacy Academy for Learning. And if you have any questions, the next slide will have the QR code so that you can get in contact with us. Thank you. Yes, I do have a Starbucks gift card. And so there's a participant list on there, but because I'm just going to try to figure out. Okay, yes. So I don't know if I even said where I was from. Did I say where I was from? Does anybody know? What was it? Not Sarasota, Florida. Winter Haven, Florida, yes. Okay, this is yours. These are the links to each of the sensoryroom.com is where we purchased all of our equipment for the sensory room. JoinScholar.com is the AI platform. And right now it's a pilot through the Florida Department of Education, so it's free to join. How many of you like free? And extragame.com is where we purchased our extra gaming equipment from. So if you're interested, those are the links. If you have any thoughts or questions, if you take a picture of the QR code, it comes directly to my phone and it has all of our information. So again, thank you for your time.